It's January 28th, 2017. We're in Luxembourg for the Cyclocross World Championships as the elite women take the start line. For the next 45 minutes, they'll battle on a muddy, icy, cold course full of off-camber sections to pull on the World Championship jersey at the end. Soon, we will witness one of the greatest cyclocross races of all time. The race officials remove the tape. The light turns green. The race is on. Getting the whole shot to start the race is Belgian Ellen van Looy. And anything can happen in cyclocross, including a crash in the back of the field as the course turns uphill, and one of the Czech riders snaps their frame. Back to the front, and Van Looy is still leading. On her wheel, in second, is one of our two protagonists of the day, Marianne Vos, 3-time World Road Race Champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 6-time Cyclocross World Champion, the undisputed greatest woman cyclist of all time, and arguably one of the greatest regardless of gender. This cross season, Vos has only raced 5 times and hasn't podiumed a single time. Of course, that's because the road season was her true focus this season. By anyone else's measures, it was successful, but for Vos, it was just fine. A few wins, sure, but lacking a crown jewel moment. This, today, could be the redemption for her. Behind Vos right now is our second protagonist of the day, one that has been a dominant force in cyclocross for years, Sanne Cant. 8-time Belgian national champion, 82 professional cyclocross wins, 2 world championship podiums, but 0 wins. Cant has won everything in cyclocross but a world championship. Based on the stats, 15 wins this season, this will be her best opportunity yet. But there is still a full race to go, so let's resume. The first lap lets us get a good look at the course, all the off-cambers, the ice they'll hope to avoid, the flyovers, and the high amount of hairpin corners, as well as short but steep drops down hills. Towards the end of the first lap, Vos is in the lead and in control heading through the downhill off-camber hairpins, and Cant has slipped back a few positions, but makes up ground on the run-up, as Vos extends the lead on the descent on the other side. At the end of the first lap, it's Vos and the Italian Lechner in the lead. A few bike lengths back is Lucinda Brand, Vos's teammate. Cant is 5 seconds behind. There's work to be done. Coming off the first flyover, we still have the same rider order, with about the same time gaps. As the lap goes on, Lechner and Vos begin pulling away slightly from Brand and Cant, and Vos is, of course, the one who's setting the pace. Gradually, Lechner begins slipping back, and when they pass the pits a second time, it's Vos leading solo, and the pack of 3 is a second or 2 behind. To be clear, 1 bad corner, 1 slow dismount, and this gap is gone. But this is Marianne Vos. She rarely makes a mistake. At the end of the lap, Vos leads, but now, just 4 seconds behind, is Cant. As Vos hits the first hill, she looks over her shoulder, checking the gap. From this camera angle, it's impossible to know what she saw, but she had to have seen Cant. The lap continues, and the gap remains similar. Brand is now on Cant's wheel, ready to snatch second place for the Netherlands should an issue happen. Everything is going according to plan for Vos. Then Cant leaves Brand behind, and slowly, agonizingly, she's dragging herself back up to Vos. When they hit the barriers, they're neck and neck. Seconds later, and Cant is now leading the World Championships. She doesn't turn up the pressure yet, and this allows Brand to come back and lead the group. Vos and Cant taking a moment of respite and watch each other. They hit one of the trickiest sections on the course again. Cant leading into the corners and loses her back wheel slightly. She saves it, still leading, but this highlights just how quickly the race course is changing on each lap. The run-up now. Cant tries to ride it and almost makes it to the top, then comes to a crawl, quickly dismounting to run. This opens a window for Brand and Voss, who ran the whole way up to come around. Now, on the other side of the hill, Brand is leading. And then the changing course catches her, her front wheel sliding out. Brand hits the ground, and momentum carries her down the hill. Voss and Cant both avoid her on the way down, and Brand recovers quick. But there's ground to make up, and make up fast. At the end of the lap, leading, it's Voss and Cant. 2 seconds behind are Brand and Czech rider Katarina Nash. Our designated protagonists have not yet truly separated themselves yet, or really come close to it since Voss in the opening laps. Cant has not looked as dominant as she has all year, and with the course the way it is, a crash could even take them both out and open the door wide. Now though, Voss is turning up the temperature through some technical sections, then getting out of the saddle and stepping on the power. Cant follows pretty quickly, and now the two are separating themselves again. Voss looks over her shoulder. Cant is there. More work to be done. Voss continues putting down the power on these open sections, but Cant is mashing her. Yes, there's a slight gap, but it's nothing worth truly noting, as the space enables Cant to take a different line if Voss commits an error. The hairpins again. Voss and Cant make their way through, but on the final one, right on the edge of the frame, Cant's rear wheel slips and she hits the ground. She's up quick. Voss has already taken advantage, smashing it up the next hill. Cant has to battle, more than she's had to all season, because the rainbow bands are escaping her yet again. This section of the course is genuinely spectacular for the viewing and the mental aspect. On the left, the stairs. On the right, the descent. Voss, leading, can see Cant descending and trying to catch. For Cant, Voss is the carrot on the stick, and having vision, knowing exactly how far there is between them, is a huge mental boost. And that distance between them is long. Voss is already at the end of the pit section before Cant even enters it. This is it. The final lap. Voss crosses the line, with the bell ringing for one to go. Cant crosses, 8 seconds behind. One lap will take around 8 minutes. A lot can happen in 8 minutes. Cant is visibly suffering, her poker face not needed when everything is on the line. Voss is, frankly, flying. Head bobbing more now, a sign of the effort she's putting in to maintain the gap. It doesn't look like she's lost much time. Cant will be hoping for a miracle. God provides. The camera cuts. Voss is barely pedaling. Her chain has dropped. She has to dismount and fight with her cranks and chain, and Cant passes her. And then Voss fixes the issue, just in time to catch Cant's wheel. This is a duel. And for the first time, Cant is in control today. The hairpins. Truth be told, neither of his competitors want to win because of someone's mechanical or crash. They want to win because they took the other's soul. They get through the hairpins, issue free. Now the hill, and then Voss passes on the flat section immediately after. It's easier to play the game from the front. The stair section. They both sprint up them, a muddier version of the scene in Rocky. There's no issues, and there's no separation between them. Voss in the front has to be thinking, waiting for Cant to move, and she does, around the outside on an off-camber hill. Now Cant is turning the screws. One thing to remember, Voss is the faster sprinter. If it comes down to the line, you can assume. But this has been a day, and they are flying into these corners. Absolutely no thoughts given to playing it safe for second. It's all in. It's a right-hander now into the final run-up. They are side by side, and now on the descent. Voss has taken the lead again, but Cant is a daredevil, taking the inside line where no gap exists to seize control again, and they hit the finishing straight. Cant leading Voss. The commentary here, in Flemish is great, as is the finish line microphone. So for the next few seconds, I'll turn over the reins.
En nu knallen. Daar is de streep. Door Sanne, Cant, wereldkampioen. Jawel! Sanne, Cant is wereldkampioen. Feest in Lille, de eerste Belgische vrouw met een wereldkampioen.
Quote, I can't believe it. The jersey is mine for a whole year. I've dreamed of it since I was 6 years old. It's 20 years ago. I really can't believe I beat Marianne Vos. She's the 7-time world champion. It's an incredible day, the most beautiful day of my life. Both would go on to win more world championships, but no race compared to this.